The last time we had a Republican president elected and Democrats did not object to the electors, do you know when the last time that was?
See, this is the kind of bullshit.
Look, it was 1988. It was 1988 the last time they didn't object to Republicans.
Hey, welcome back, everybody. Thanks for watching. I don't have a ton of time today for editing, so I'm just going to sort of live react to this clip from Bill Maher's podcast the other day where he's interviewing Matt Gaetz, and they're debating January 6th and conceding election results. And I know probably everybody's tired of this topic, but Bill Maher likes to argue about it from time to time and make the claim that only Republicans deny election results. Democrats we always honor it. And he's gotten into several debates with people over the years, with Megyn Kelly and some others who have told him that no, Democrats have denied election results going back to the year 2000. This is something I talked about on this channel quite a bit. And so they get into this argument again, and Matt Gaetz does a pretty good job. He mentions, I think, a couple things that I'm not used to hearing people mention. You know, it's one of my favorite topics, so let's go ahead and check this out, and I'll just give my comments as we're watching.
Yeah, it's not like the left doesn't do a version. I mean, they should not have been bitching about Trump is not a legitimate president. That was wrong. I agree. It's very different.
He's in, boys. He did it. He said it.
That was wrong. I agree. It's very different than actually trying to stay in power.
No.
Bill Maher says they should not have said that Donald Trump was illegitimate. Well, guess what? Bill Maher was one of those people.
And when John Lewis said he was not a legitimate president,
Yes.
I assume you're on that page.
I am on that page because he's not a legitimate president.
I would agree with that. I agree. He didn't get there quite legitimately. I mean, they should not have been bitching about Trump is not a legitimate president. That was wrong. I agree.
Oh, what's different? Yeah.
We just had January 6th. It went off smoothly, without a hitch. Everyone places. Okay, the rehearsal went great, and now we do it and we go home. But that's not what would have happened if you guys had lost, and you know that.
Bill, you understand
that is an asymmetry you have to address.
No, you don't know that, because as I pointed out on my X channel many times and on the YouTube channel, there was violence during the transfer of power when George W. Bush won. They actually attacked his motorcade, which is the first time anything like that had ever happened. Bush actually had to speed away. And there was a riot at the 2017 inauguration of Donald Trump where multiple police were injured, right? The pro-police Democrats, rioters, injured police, and then had all their charges dropped. Literally all the charges against rioters were dropped, despite injured police.
Okay, let me address it. You're right. This past week, we had a wonderful January 6th. The last time we had a Republican president elected and Democrats did not object to the electors, do you know when the last time that was?
See, this is the kind of bullshit.
Look, it was 1988. It was 1988 the last time they didn't object to Republicans. They objected to George W. Bush winning Ohio.
Object is different than calling the Justice Department and pressuring them to do things that even his own Justice Department wouldn't do. It's different than calling the guy in Georgia and saying, find me 11,000 votes.
Wrong again.
They completely misrepresent that quote. It's clearly he's just saying, go find the votes, go out there and count them, find them. He wasn't saying manufacture votes. That's not at all what he was saying. And if you listen to the entire context, it's very clear. But they love to use that. It's just like the verified people and everything else.
It's different than going to court with all these ridiculous cases that were laughed out of every courtroom. It's different than actually sending fake electors. Don't give me bullshit and we'll be friends. Bullshit me? No, we'll still be friends. But I'll think you're a hack instead of someone who could actually have an honest conversation and admit this asymmetry exists.
I don't believe it's asymmetrical at all. When you look at the way the Democratic Party used an authoritarian bum rush to get Joe Biden out of the race and replace him with Harris, was that the great sacrifice to the virtue of democracy, and the great rejection of authoritarianism was swapping her out for him like it's some Mississippi Square dance?
Okay. I'm just going to end this part of our discussion by saying, I think just looking in your eye, talking to you, not the media guy I saw, you're a lot brighter than I thought you were.
It's very different, is it? It's really not that different, all right? Again, this whole election denial thing was started by Democrats. Democrats unloaded this entire scheme to try and delegitimize the 2016 election, delegitimize Trump. And they worked with the government, with the media. They lied to the country. They did illegal things to do it. They spied on campaigns. They talked about insurance policies. So they did quite a bit. But with Democrats, with guys like Bill Maher, they just cannot allow themselves to concede this. And so their brains are always trying to rationalize a reason why it's different. And that's why anytime they get into an argument like this, the different word pops up. It always will. And Bill's getting close. He's gonna get really close, but I don't think he'll ever go fully over and admit that both sides deny election results, and it's bad. Okay, so Bill Maher basically admitting that he was bested in this debate, and the fact of the matter is, Bill Maher never acknowledges like the violence during the transition of power in 2001 and 2017. He never acknowledges that, but I will say that almost nobody ever brings it up. I think Megyn Kelly might have brought up the violence during the 2017 Trump inauguration, but it's very rarely brought up. I've messaged this information to many of these people. Some of them have actually responded to me, thanking me, or we've had discussions. But I don't ever hear anybody mentioning it, and that's very odd to me in the media. Very odd to me. Don't you think it's strange? But yeah, Bill Maher constantly wanting to talk about this, but he doesn't know nearly as much as he's so dead set on saying, no, it's different. And that's what you see. He was talking about the asymmetry. It's different. It's different. This is a common issue on the left, one we talk about often on this channel. I think, back in the day, it used to be considered like a communist tactic, that they accuse you of what they're already doing, kind of a thing. And I feel like that's sort of what this is. It's like a branch off from that same strategy. Fact is, Democrats started the trend of election denial and violence in response to losing elections and conspiracy theories to explain the election loss. Okay, they did not do that this time because we were all predicting it. Literally, like everybody was predicting it. Like, yeah, every time you guys lose, there's violence and you deny it. And it was such a resounding victory by Trump that they just could not pull that off this time. And I think that's what it was. It was too big. It was too big of a win for them to deny or to claim was illegitimate or to claim it was Russian interference. I mean, the Russian interference excuse was complete BS from the beginning, but we know that's how the media operates. It's the drive-by media. They drive by, they do their damage, and then they speed off, never to really, truly correct their lies. All right, folks, that's all I have for that one. Let me know what you think about this exchange in the comments, and if you're still here, might as well hit that like button and subscribe. I do post on a regular basis, so keep checking back for more. Thanks a lot.